Most people look at the 1979 D1 coin and think it is just another old dollar, but the truth in the 2025 market is shocking. Because this coin is rising fast, and collectors are chasing rare strikes, sharp details, and clean surfaces that can turn a simple dollar into serious money. And the craziest part is that many people already have this coin sitting in a drawer or an old box, without knowing that the right one can explode in value, and collectors are paying more and more for strong strikes, high grade examples, and rare mint features. So check your coin right now, because the value jump is real. And this 1979 D1 coin might be worth far more than you ever imagined in today's USA dollar market. Imagine holding a coin that millions of people once ignored because they believed it was too modern, too ordinary, too common. Yet today, this same coin in the right condition can shock collectors with surprising value and hidden rarity. This is the story of the 1979 D Mint Mark $1 coin, a coin that looks simple on the surface, but contains history, design, mystery, and the potential for value that most people still do not notice. The excitement begins when you learn that even after decades of circulation, a perfect, untouched example of this coin can rise far above face value and become a true collectible worth searching for. The 1979 D1 coin is part of the Susan B. Anthony dollar series, the very first circulating coin in the United States to feature a real historical woman. It was created at a time when the United States Mint wanted a smaller, lighter dollar coin, compared to the heavy Eisenhower dollar that people found difficult to carry. The goal was practicality and innovation, and the Mint hoped that the nation would adopt a modern dollar that fit easily into pockets, vending machines, and everyday commerce. But even though the coin was intended for heavy circulation, the public reaction was mixed, and that makes surviving high-grade examples surprisingly tough to find today. The portrait of Susan B. Anthony was designed by Frank Gasparro, who created a bold and powerful profile to represent strength, determination, and equality. Around her are 11 stars symbolizing her lifelong fight for justice. The reverse features a soaring eagle landing on the moon, a design inspired by the Apollo 11 mission showcasing American achievement and pride. The coin has reeded edges, a strong metallic shine, and a distinctive shape due to the 11-sided border engraved around the design, even though the coin is still perfectly round. These details give the coin personality and help collectors identify strong strikes and well-preserved surfaces. The metal composition of the 1979 D dollar is a copper-nickel-clad blend with an outer layer of copper-nickel bonded over a pure copper core. The total weight is about 8.1 grams, and the diameter measures 26.5 millimeters. The Mint created this design to be durable since it was meant for daily use in machines, transportation systems, and general commerce. That is why most surviving coins are worn, scratched, dull, or full of contact marks from years of circulation. But when a coin escapes, where the story changes completely. The Denver Mint produced more than 288 million examples of the 1979 D1 coin, which means it is not rare by the numbers. However, being common does not mean worthless. Rarity for this coin comes from condition. Most coins were tossed in drawers, used in machines, stored in bags, and rolled in banks where they repeatedly hit other coins. Only a small portion survived in fresh mint condition, and an even smaller portion survived in very high mint state grades. Those are the coins that collectors chase today. Grading is the key factor in value. In the lowest grade, the coin can look flat, worn with faded details and dull surfaces. These fall into the circulated category and hold little more than face value. But once you move out of circulation into uncirculated grades, everything changes. A mint state coin has no wear, only small contact marks from the minting process. Mint state ranges from MS60 to MS70. Most 1979 D coins fall somewhere between MS60 and MS63, showing noticeable marks and cloudy luster. These are still uncirculated but not rare. When you reach MS64, the coin begins to show cleaner surfaces and a stronger strike. MS65 brings bright luster, sharp detail, and very few marks. MS66 and above are the true prize because these are extremely hard to find. A flawless or near-flawless example can stand out dramatically among millions. Value in today's 2025 United States market shows exactly how condition transforms this coin. A heavily circulated 1979 D dollar is worth around $1. A lightly circulated example might reach $1.50 or $2. A basic uncirculated coin begins around $5 to $6, depending on eye appeal. MS-64 can bring $8 to $10. MS-65 may sell for $15 to $20. MS-66 can sharply rise to $25 to $40. And MS-67 pieces can bring over $150 or more, depending on the grading service and buyer demand. And at the very top of the scale, high-end certified examples have matched or crossed over $1,000 in special auction events, because finding a perfect coin from such a large circulation era is extremely tough. A stunning near-flawless survivor always attracts attention. Collectors also look for interesting features on the 1979 D1 coin, including strike weakness, filled mint marks, die fatigue, and unusual metal flow lines. While the Denver issue does not have famous double die varieties like the Philadelphia coin, it can still show unusual minting traits that set certain examples apart. Even a subtle oddity can increase value if the coin is in excellent condition. That is why collectors examine the mint mark, the shapes of the letters, the clarity of the stars, and the sharpness of the eagle feathers. Every small detail matters when searching for profitable surprises. Finding the coin today is easy, but finding a rare one is challenging. You might encounter these coins in old coin jars, inherited boxes, estate lots, or bank rolls that have been stored for decades. Many remain untouched in old collections, because when the Susan B. Anthony dollar was released, people hoarded them expecting them to rise in value. This means rolls or bags saved in mint state condition can still exist. If you search through them carefully, you might spot a gem that the original owner never noticed. The key is to look for sharp edges, bright luster, and minimal marks. A clean portrait with no scratches on Anthony's cheek and clear detail in the eagle wings is a strong sign of a high-grade piece. The reason high-grade examples are rare is because coins from the late 1970s and early 1980s were not treated as collectibles when they were released. They were used immediately or stored in banks, where large bags created heavy contact marks. Mint handling was not delicate. Few collectors asked for perfect examples, and even fewer preserved them properly. The Denver Mint struck a huge number, but handled them in a way that makes finding nearly flawless examples today surprisingly difficult. One of the most interesting facts about the 1979 D dollar is that it represents a moment when the United States tried to modernize the dollar coin, but the public rejected it. People confused the coin with a quarter due to its size and color. Because of this, the coin quickly disappeared from circulation, and millions of untouched coins were stored away. This unexpected withdrawal is why rare higher-grade survivors exist, yet remain scarce in top quality. The coin had a short excitement period and abrupt decline, and then decades of storage, which created pockets of unsearched opportunity for collectors today. Another shocking detail is that this coin marked the beginning of a new era for women represented on currency. While many people only see a coin, the deeper story is one of social progress and symbolic recognition. That historical impact adds depth to its collectible status, especially for enthusiasts who value coins with meaning beyond metal and mintage. The 1979 D dollar is a coin you should inspect closely every time you see one, because you never know when a small detail or a strong strike could turn a common coin into a valuable piece. Even today, people overlook them, believing they are too new or too ordinary. Yet serious collectors study them with magnification tools, hunting for that clean, perfect survivor that can stand out from the millions. And now that you understand the full story, history, design, composition, rarity, condition, value, and collecting secrets of the 1979 D1 coin, get ready, because the next coin video will take you even deeper into another surprising coin that you might already own without knowing its hidden potential. When we look deeper into the 1979 D1 coin, we discover an entire world hidden beneath its simple copper-nickel surface. This coin is more than a piece of metal. It is a snapshot of American history, reflecting a time when the country was shifting toward modern machines, electronic banking, faster transactions, and a new sense of national identity. The Mint believed the nation was ready to move away from paper dollars and into a coin-based dollar system, but what they discovered was something unexpected. The public did not embrace change as quickly as the Mint predicted, and that resistance created powerful consequences for collectors today, because the rejection of the coin helped preserve it in small pockets of pristine condition. Collectors often say that the 1979 D1 coin is caught between two worlds. It is modern enough to seem common, yet old enough to hold nostalgia. It is familiar, yet still underestimated. The design is bold, yet many people barely look at it when it passes through their hands. That is exactly why this coin creates surprising excitement when collectors uncover a gem. A simple drawer find can suddenly reveal a high-grade untouched specimen with blazing mint luster and sharp details. The thrill of that moment is what drives hobbyists to search bags, rolls, and old collections, because the potential reward is still very real. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1979 dollar is how the coin behaves under lighting. A strong mint state example reflects light in smooth radial waves across the fields, creating a bright, almost mirrored motion that instantly separates a higher-grade coin from a worn or dull example. Collectors love this effect because it gives them clues about the coin's handling history. A coin with consistent luster across the surface suggests that it has never circulated. On the other hand, a coin with broken luster, inconsistent shine, or dulling indicates that human hands or machines have worn down the metal. Since luster breaks very easily, it becomes a critical tool in identifying rare high-grade survivors. Another surprising detail is the strike quality. Denver Mint coins are usually known for strong, crisp strikes, but the 1979 dollar shows a wide range of strike differences. Some coins have fully visible hair strands on the portrait, sharp collar lines, and deep detail in the eagle's feathers. Others appear soft on the cheek or wings due to dye fatigue or heavy production pressure. This strike quality matters because collectors value coins with complete detail, especially since many dyes used during the year were worn down quickly due to high demand for vending machine compatibility testing and mass transportation systems. If you turn the coin under magnification, the surface reveals even more secrets. Contact marks, which look like tiny dents, come from the coins hitting each other during minting and storage. A coin with fewer contact marks immediately becomes more desirable because bag marks can reduce a coin several grades. Even a single heavy contact mark on the main portrait area can drop a potential MS67 coin to MS65 or MS64. This affects value dramatically because the difference between these grades can be dozens or even hundreds of dollars. That is why collectors who take this coin seriously study it under bright light, slow movement, and precise angles to detect every flaw. One aspect that makes the 1979 dollar compelling is how many people own it without realizing its potential. Because the coin did not circulate heavily, it often ended up in small stashes forgotten in kitchen drawers, old tins, bank envelopes, and inherited boxes. People saved them out of curiosity or confusion, believing that the coin might become valuable one day. Decades passed, and now those untouched coins can be discovered again. That is why your chances of finding a high-grade example today are still better than some older coins. It is like opening a time capsule from 1979 and finding a piece of history preserved exactly as it was the day it was struck. Collectors love to point out the emotional connection this coin creates. The portrait of Susan B. Anthony symbolizes the fight for equality and justice. Holding the coin feels like holding a reminder of progress. The 11 stars around her portrait represent her dedication and the nation's recognition of her contributions. The eagle landing on the moon represents the achievement of the Apollo era, showcasing American ambition and scientific success. When these symbols combine, the coin becomes more than currency. It becomes a statement piece, a living memorial to powerful moments in American culture. Even though the coin is modern, collectors still treat it with the same respect as older silver dollars, because rarity is not just about age. Rarity is about condition, survival rate, and demand. Millions were made, yes, but only a tiny fraction remain in near-perfect state. This is why some collectors prefer modern condition rarities over older but damaged coins. A flawless modern coin can be more valuable than an older coin with heavy wear, especially when judged by professional grading standards. The 1979 dollar fits perfectly into this category because it offers both affordability and the thrill of potential high value. The market today in 2025 is extremely active for high-grade modern coins. Collectors are paying attention to coins from the 1970s and 1980s because many people ignored them during their release. This created perfect conditions for rare high-grade survivors. Younger collectors especially search for modern dollars because they are achievable, affordable, and full of exciting hidden opportunities. The 2025 market values eye appeal heavily, which means a 1979 coin with bright luster, clean fields, and sharp strike can stand out even in a crowded marketplace. Another point worth noting is the story behind the mint mark. The small d may look insignificant, but it holds meaning. It represents the Denver Mint, a facility known for speed, high volume, and efficiency. This mint mark helps collectors track historical production patterns and understand why certain quality differences occur. The Denver Mint pushed machinery hard in 1979 because the government expected the Susan B. Anthony dollar to replace the paper dollar quickly. This created extreme pressure on dies, resulting in some coins being sharply struck and others less detailed. These variations add depth to the collecting experience and make the hunt more exciting. As you continue exploring this coin, you realize that the 1979 D dollar tells a story of ambition, disruption, controversy, and unexpected rarity. It began as a government project to modernize currency, but ended as a misunderstood coin that people rejected. That rejection, however, gave collectors a gift because it preserved many coins that were never used. Some of those coins today remain hidden, waiting to be found by someone who recognizes their historical and collectible value. When we move even deeper into the journey of the 1979 D $1 coin, we step into the part that truly separates beginners from serious treasure hunters. This is where you learn how to judge a coin the same way top collectors, dealers, and grading experts do. Because the truth is, anyone can hold a coin and guess its condition, but only a trained eye can detect the hidden clues that transform a common coin into a valuable discovery. And the 1979 D dollar is a perfect coin for learning this skill, because its surface tells a clear story of how it lived its life. The first thing experts check is the highest point of the design. On the obverse, that point is Susan B. Anthony's cheek, the smooth, rounded section that shows wear the quickest. Even the slightest rub on that cheek destroys the mint luster and instantly drops the grade from uncirculated into circulated. This small area becomes a spotlight for the entire coin. If the cheek still glows with original mint shine, then you might be holding an uncirculated survivor. If the cheek looks dull, flat, or patchy, then the coin has circulated even if the rest of the coin looks clean. The second area experts study is the field. The field is the open, flat background around the portrait. This is the part of the coin that shows every mark because it reflects light clearly. One deep mark in the field can drop a coin from a high mint state grade to a lower grade quickly. Collectors want fields that look smooth, full of luster, sharp, and almost watery under the right lighting. When a 1979 D dollar shows fields that are open, clean, and glowing, it becomes instantly desirable, because these surfaces rarely survive without marks from mint bags and rolling machines. Next, experts study the strike. A strong strike is like the heartbeat of the coin. On the obverse, a powerful strike gives sharp clarity to the hairlines, the collar, the edges of the letters, and the shapes around the stars. On the reverse, the eagle needs crisp wings, bold feathers, and clear landing pads. Many coins from this year show weakness in these areas because the Denver Mint worked fast and hard. A strong strike stands out immediately when compared side by side with a weak strike. Serious collectors pay more for strong strike examples because they enhance the visual beauty and rarity of the coin. Lighting also plays a massive role in evaluating the 1979 D dollar. When you tilt the coin under a single point light, the luster should move like waves flowing across the surface. If the flow breaks or stops suddenly, it means there is wear or damage. A perfect luster flow that moves evenly across the entire coin is one of the strongest signs of a high mint state grade. Many collectors describe this effect as the coin breathing because it looks alive when it rotates in the light. Another powerful part of identifying valuable coins is understanding mint handling marks. During production, millions of coins were struck rapidly, then dropped into huge bins where they collided aggressively. This caused what collectors call bag marks, small dents caused by the impact of coins hitting each other. A few bag marks are normal and acceptable in lower mint state levels, but high-end coins must have almost no marks or marks hidden in less visible areas. This is why true mint state gems are rare, because the minting process itself worked against their survival. Once you understand these details, you begin to recognize why high-grade 1979 D dollars sell for strong premiums in 2025. Collectors today value coins that show both technical quality and visual appeal. They want coins that look fresh, untouched, and almost frozen in time. A coin that survived decades with full luster, strong strike, and minimal marks becomes a tiny piece of history that feels almost like a miracle. These special coins are the ones that reach prices far above normal market levels. Another interesting fact about the 1979 D dollar is how often people misjudge its true condition. Many owners believe their coin is uncirculated simply because it looks shiny or clean. But shine alone does not mean uncirculated. Modern nickel-clad coins can remain shiny even after light circulation. What truly matters is whether any wear is present. That is why experienced collectors use magnification tools to examine the high points, the edges, the fields, and the luster. A coin that looks mint fresh under normal light may reveal tiny friction spots under a loupe. This tiny detail can change the value drastically. Collectors also look for special personality traits that make a 1979 D dollar visually unique. Some coins show unusual die polish lines, fine raised marks created when the mint cleaned a die. Some show slight metal flow textures near the edges. Some have slightly tilted mint marks or darker toning around the portrait. While these characteristics do not always add value on their own, they make the coin more attractive and desirable to certain collectors who appreciate individuality in their pieces. A beautiful coin with strong eye appeal can sometimes outperform a technically higher-grade coin with dull or unattractive surfaces. One more reason this coin fascinates collectors is its connection to the roller coaster story of the Susan B. Anthony dollar series. The mint believed the coin would replace the paper dollar. Television campaigns promoted it. Transportation systems prepared for it. Yet the public reaction was immediate and clear confusion with the quarter. This confusion spread so quickly that millions of coins went unused right from the start. Banks stored them away in boxes and rolls, sometimes untouched for decades. These long-forgotten rolls are the treasure chests that modern collectors dream about because inside them might sit a handful of untouched mint-state gems. This possibility fuels one of the most exciting parts of collecting, the thrill of discovery. Anyone can find a valuable 1979 D $1 coin if they look in the right places. Old bank envelopes, estate collections, inherited boxes, thrift stores, garage sales, antique shops, and especially old coin rolls all can hold surprises. Many people do not know the value of mint-condition modern coins. They mix them with regular change, sell them cheaply at yard sales, or store them away without care. This creates opportunities for collectors who know exactly what to look for. This journey into the world of the 1979 D $1 coin shows how a coin that seems ordinary can become extraordinary when viewed through the right lens. It teaches patience, discipline, and attention to detail. It teaches you how history, economics, minting technology, and human behavior all shape the fate of a small, round piece of metal. And it prepares you for even deeper knowledge, because the more you learn, the more you realize there is always another layer to uncover.